Good morning and welcome to Jonkoping, Sweden. We're below zero here in winter wonderland. And looking at the window, I can see we're just about to get a little more snow falling down on us here. And the best curlers in the world, because we have curling for breakfast at the fantastic Jonkoping Curling Hall for the third leg of the Curling World Cup. Men's curling on the cards as China play Norway in session 8. Myself, Sander Ulvåg, joined by Rona Howie. Good morning.
Good morning, Sander.
For Team China today, at lead we have Wang Yinghuan. At second, Chen Kuo. At third is Ling Ye. And the team is skipped by Ma Shu Iwa. For Norway, at lead, Magnus Vågberg. Throwing the second stones, we have Magnus Nedregotten. At third and vice is Markus Høiberg. And Team Norway is skipped by Steffen Valstad. You see the teams have had their little practice to get a feel for the ice. As we now take a look at the standings, the two pools in Group A, at Switzerland on top with 5 points, followed by Sweden, USA and Japan. And Group B, it's Canada on top with 6 points, Scotland to follow with 5, Norway and only the 1 point, China with none. So big game for the teams this morning. And here are the points awarded, Rona.
So by winning this event, you get 10 points, lose the final, 5 points. If you win a round-robin game within the regulation 8 ends, you get 3 points. If it goes to a shootout, because there's no extra ends, if you win that shootout, you get 2 points. Lose the shootout, 1 point. And if you lose the game in the regulation 8 ends, it's 0 points.
These are the other games out there this morning. We have 4 men's games and 1 mixed doubles game. That mixed doubles game is between China and Russia. Elsewhere in the men's, we have Japan playing Sweden. Switzerland takes on USA. And Scotland will play Canada. 2 undefeated teams in the pool there. You'd think for Norway and China, it'd be good if they split the points somehow, maybe.
That's a bit sportsmanlike at this time in the morning.
The winner of the group will progress to the final. So must win for both teams here. Magnus Vågberg will get us started here. Throwing get turn or clockwise rotation. Looking for a center guard. Comes up a bit shy. Wang Yinghuan at lead for China.
Quite a young Chinese team. We've had World Junior experience. Not so much on the men's scene. Great experience for them to be part of this Curling World Cup.
I did see at least 3 of the team members play together at the China Open in Chongqing. This season they put to play some good teams there. We had a team of Ulsrud, Brad Gushu. Huge event. There's certainly a few big tournaments being played in China at the moment. Of course, the grand final of the Curling World Cup will be in Beijing. So in men's curling, we have the 5-stone freeguard zone new for this season. We'll play 8 ends, and like Rona just touched on, if the game is tied, we will not have an extra end, but rather a shootout, 1 stone per team, just closest to the pin, center of the house. And of course, the other big change with this format is the timing, Rona.
Yeah, timing per end rather than thinking time for your whole game, where you can really manage your time how you like for the whole game. You can maybe bank time. Whereas here you get 4 minutes per end of thinking time, and the second half of the game you get 4 minutes 15. So plenty time, really. There'd be no excuse for running out of time. But it's just a different way of playing the game that you need to remember.
Magnus Nedregotten here. He's been playing on the mixed doubles as well. Won the event in Omaha, the second leg. With partner Kristin Skaslien. Now she's playing with Thomas Ulsrud this week.
And she played with yourself in the first leg, so she's playing with different partners each time.
We have seen some of the mixed doubles teams run out of time on occasion. I'm not sure if I've seen the teams do so. Obviously, with 4 members on the team, you can always have one just allocated to look at the clock.
Yeah, and I think with mixed doubles, when there is only the 2 of you on the ice and there's so many stones in play, you just get caught up in the whole tactical side of the game that you maybe forget to look at the clock.
Chen Kuo makes the nose hit for China to sit 2 here early. So Norway will try and make the hit and roll here, either behind that long centre guard or even all the way across the house and try and sit on top of the other red. Try and group them. Well.
Great shot.
Not exactly what they were calling there, but it was always an option.
It was well called for.
You could see Magnus asking for a bit less ice, thinking it was a bit straight. Maybe he threw it slightly softer than his first throw as well. And that just took off. But I think he'll take the result. Probably the ideal result, really. Now trying to just heading to lie the 1.
So a mistake there from China. You see it's just nicked it in behind that guard, but it is back tee, so Norway will come around, try and stop top tee.
Markus Høiberg playing third for Team Norway. He was the alternate for the Ulsrud team at the past 2 Olympic Games.
Slipping behind tee here.
Linke.
Such a big swing on the ice that Norwegian stone came out the other side and allows China to play the double. It is a very long guard out front, so China are able to come around. tap back this Norwegian stone. This Norwegian team played at the first leg of the Curling World Cup in China.
Yeah, but they're slowly taking over the #1 spot in Norway after Team Ulsrud. They're still battling though, but Stefan Valstad here as a skip has played the 2 last World Championships for Norway, also represented them at the European Championships for the first time this season in Tallinn, but has failed to medal at all 3 championships. So even though they've been beating the Ulsrud team and doing well on tour, winning events, qualifying quite a lot, so far they've disappointed at the championships, but Ulsrud team didn't exactly win gold at their first European and World Championships either.
No, you've got to get that experience, and the only way to gain that experience is to play there.
It's a big difference playing a 3-day weekend spiel and a 9-day championship. So I believe the Norwegian National Championship should be next weekend, and the winner goes to Lethbridge for the men's worlds. Mashoya with the nose hit in the back here.
And for Magnus, he's got a very busy schedule playing mixed doubles and men's. There's a lot more mixed doubles competitions now after its debut at the Olympic Games last year. More events around the world for teams to play in. So Magnus has got a very busy schedule.
Can't stick in at all. He's not a professional curler either. Might see he's semi-professional. There's some funding, but still having to work quite a bit at the curling club back home in Oslo. Just another nose hit from Norway, but if you watch that Yellowstone on the left, just outside the house, could be
a catcher.
Yeah. Didn't seem like they... Stefan just realizing the same and telling his team. Didn't seem like China was looking at maybe peeling this the other way, come across the face of it perhaps. If they catch half rock here, as they're looking to blank this end, that red stone might roll and catch the one outside the house. We'll see. Last stone for the 23-year-old from Harbin. Oh, this one over curling anyway. And we'll stick around, and you can see, even if they caught that a bit thinner, probably catch the yellow. Had to catch that real thin to avoid the jam. So one for China. Norway's going to be happy with the force. 7 ends to go here. Norway, China, and Jonkoping.
Hvilken vei? Den her? Ja. På treninga så hadde jeg ut på 12. plass I hvert fall. På Alta nå? Ja, det vi spilt...可能会稍微还行，给了一块啊，6。
下线吧，下线吧。线路怎么样？
应该能停走道，看一眼，基本是哪儿就是哪儿。
6、7了。5、6区，擦一擦。
抓着。
Team China gets the second end started. Just putting a stone on the top of the lid, top of the button. They're up by 1. Unforced error on the last rock. Was hoping to blank the end, retain last stone advantage, but scores the 1. Norway gets the hammer, as we call it, and they'll be looking to score a couple of points here. Oh, oh. This is a big mistake from Magnus Wågberg.
Yep, looking for the corner guard. Try and generate a 2 with a hammer. And he slides into the rings.
I'd call that sin number 1 for a lead.
Yeah, Leeds have got a real important role setting up every end.
The good part about the 5 rock rule, though, is they could still throw a corner guard, and China couldn't peel it out last year. They would have been able to. So Norway's going to throw another corner guard. China's going to have to ignore it one more time. So we will get something going. I think last year sometimes you'll see a team throw, even if they throw a second corner guard, the opposition peels it, and then you end up with another blank.
Yeah, certainly gives the team the opportunity now to get that cover up. New rule.
It'll be very interesting to see the statistics by the end of the season, but just from my experience alone, seems like we've had much more high-scoring games this season. Lots of 3s and 4s.
Especially at the end of the games. You know, when a team is maybe 2 or 3 up, playing the last couple of ends, normally they would, you know, see out that game, whereas now, that's not guaranteed.
Yeah, I've even seen that at top level. A couple of games where teams scored a 3 or 4 in the last end to win it. Definitely not normal.
And it's taken teams a wee while to experiment with the
Sure.
new rule. You know, they work out what way's best to play it for them, whether they're up in the game or down.
We had the 4 rock rule for, what, 25 years or so? Around there.
Long time.
So a lot of time to figure it out. The 5 rock rule has been played with at certain events over the past years, but it's only really full on at the World Curling Championships this season. Run back by Magnus Nedergotten, makes the connection there. Leaves the shooter up front.
So take a look over in sheet C, mixed doubles game on, China versus Russia. And Russia lying 4 stones. Suja trying to pass this top guard. Take the double on the 4-foot. Oh, just misses the back one, but does stay for second shot. So a steal of 1 for Russia at the first end. There's 4 men's games on here today and just 1 mixed doubles on this session. The sections have got 4 teams and they all play a double round robin. So 6 section games. And the winner of each section progresses to the final. So China came around these guards, going for the raise again. Just rolls out.
Bit of a deja vu here. Makes the run again. Leaves the guard. China comes around.
我觉得还可以。5-6，5-6，6-7，下路怎么样？下路可以下，可以下。6，7，6，6区，可以下吗？下路很好。5区5-6。
Just trying to keep this top tee. A really nice stone there. China lie too.
Daniel Raphael is the coach for
I bet you they make this one too.
China.
It's all about release.
And his coaching on the bench as well, seemingly. He's certainly has some coaching experience, having been the national coach for France, Italy, Czech Republic, Turkey, and also China on a previous occasion. So also dipped his toes in Russia.
And there we see a great raise.
And Paul Thurston.
Left the hole for you.
It's always good to have banter on the coach's bench. He's saying, look, we've left that hole for you to come through. We're very kind. It's not a big hole, though.
Well, mean player in his day, Paul. Olympic champion, 02. Followed up by silver at the Worlds the same season. More or less retired after the Olympics in Turin in 06. Kept it going for a couple of years. And of course, after his reign, it was the Ulsrud team to come through the ranks and kind of take over. And as we mentioned earlier, a bit of a generation change happening now in Norway as well. Although I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the Ulsrud team at the Worlds this season. It's going to be
you're a betting man's under.
It's going to be a tough battle.
Norwegian Championship could be an exciting week next week.
5-6. 7. 7. 6. 6. 5-6. Vi har det gående. Switch.
Certainly, if Stefan Wallstad and his team take over, the curling world will miss the fancy pants that Team Ulsrud have been renowned for over the last few years. Adding a bit of colour.
Not sure if they were just... I think they were trying to come all deep around the guard there. Leave a bit more of a stagger. Double is probably on for China. As you'll see, Skip Ma with his stabilizer coming real low.
Very low.
He's putting his eyes right behind the rock. Great for those upweight shots. And he's going to make one here.
Oh, and spins back into lie two.
Real nice. Yeah, when you get that low in behind the rock, it's like shooting a gun, isn't it? Just.
Yep. That dominant eye is just right behind the stone. And plays a great double.
Yeah, you get up, you tuck up on that toe, get low. You see the curlers from Manitoba, Jeff Stoughton, Matt Dunstone.
The Manitoba tuck.
But you
No,
even
we
have
don't see many Chinese tucks.
Nope. You even have a Nicholas Adine. He doesn't tuck as much, but he comes real low, flexible. And I feel like a common trait for those players is that they're really good at the upweights.
Very accurate. It's the stability in those upweight shots.
And some players feel like if you have a bit of a higher slide, you get a bit more sense for the draw weight.
So Norway ignoring the two Chinese counters in the wing.
A bit of rock lock here to get a feel for the ice. Been looking around 14 seconds, maybe a bit more. 15-2. It's a bit shy for weight as well.
Trying to bury it behind that centre guard.
I have seen a stone being swept into the forfeit with 15 seconds. But we're just in the second end, so might see it keying up just a touch more after all the pebbles been broken down, and maybe ice in the air heats up a wee bit in the morning hours.
See, it's half behind the guard, but still showing enough for China to remove it. Norway have got last stone. They really wanted to try and get a 2 here.
你要奔60大还是50大？60。40大，40肯定大，50吧。50差不多，踏板吗？踏板是50现在，我记得是80。40、50之间。对，50。OK 的。远点带一带，我感觉小点。32，长一些。带泄露下来，长一些。小孩远。
They're on this the whole way to hold the line as they pass the top guard. Oh, just catches it. Oh, nearly got lucky with a wick across. So an error there from China gives Norway the chance for their 2. Just an open draw to the 8 foot.
Can't afford to crash on their own yellow. Gonna have to come around, so taking a bit more ice. Could be a new path. And you have to ask the question, is it going to be a tad slower here? Sweepers telling Stefan that it'd be nice if you add just a little bit of weight. The first one wasn't exactly heavy either. Just making it to the 8 foot. Last stone, second end.
He can afford to give it a wee bit more out here. He's got the whole 8 foot to go through.
Looks like they're very much in control here. Just keeping it alive. And this one will slide into the 8 foot, even the side of the 4 foot. More than enough for 2. Norway strikes back, and it's a 2-1 lead through 2 ends of play here in the Jonkoping Curling Hall.
Markus nærmest, Risk overkast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, rent og død, egentlig på linje.
How's Tom?
To der, litt kortere. Bra spill, Magnus. Bra spill. Jeg tror jeg må stå litt mer sånn...
Magnus Vågberg throws the first stone of the third end, center guard for Team Norway as they played China this morning. This time China will throw a corner guard. Trying to get a few points up on the board. Just gave away 2 to Norway. They'll have to score 2 back.
Fire. 4, 3, 4.
You could hear the coaches talking to the players at the end of the end. There's no timeouts at the Curling World Cup, but the players are allowed to speak with their coaches at the end of every end. Nice come around there. Norway, great setup from the leads. Trying to come around and half check the yellow. But it's a bit high of line, so just taking it right around. Pretty good result there. Norway need to play to it.
Magnus satt her. Touch mindre da. Der. Det er bra. Wow, må kølle! Vente. Må kølle! Wow! Ok, svinn er fin.
Magnus Nedergården just looking to come up and freeze that Chinese stone. Sweeper's working it hard to get it there.
That's a good sweep.
Very good sweep. It's not frozen, but it does cause a problem for China.
It's hard to sweep that one too when you have the line callers calling you off for line, but you know you have to go for weight. Makes you hesitate a little bit. But they kept the brooms down pretty much all the way. And got to pass their own yellow, which is very important.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Okay.
Can't make contact with the run there. For now, Norway happy to guard, even though China's line shot stone. How come?
You also know there's a double on those yellows for China to lift. But right now, Norway are saying, okay, you've got to play for your two. You've got the hammer. We're one up in the game. So we'll force you to take your one, or we'll leave that till later in the end, and then we'll make a play on it.
Yeah, not a lot of room for China at the moment to get something going. You hate to play around a centre guard when you have last stone. Norway's just looking to guard the top yellow here, really, which they have done. Pretty good result. Runs it back, picks off one yellow, leaves the red shot stone.
Take a look at sheet B, Switzerland, United States. Switzerland 1 up. Corey Dropkin throwing last stones for Team USA.
Thought I was a hair shorter with the slide. Yep. Full force. Mine's good, guys. Yep. Hard, guys. Go. Hard, Tom. Go.
Facing our
Come on, dig.
red Swiss counter on the 4 foot.
Come on, you got it. Keep going to the button. Go, 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 go. More. More. Come on.
Trying to bite the 1 foot.
Go.
And just comes up short. So a steal of 1. Switzerland now lead 2-0 after 2 ends. Corey Dropkin's another player that has played two disciplines. He played the mixed doubles in the first leg of the World Cup, losing the final to Canada.
嘿，多大圆？4几
？China tried to head and roll behind the corner guard there. Stays out in the open for Norway to remove.
Bra fart! Bra fart! Linja bra. Hold. 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 Sitt. Bra spill. Veldig bra. Bra.
So look over sheet E, sorry, sheet A, Japan versus Sweden. Japan 1-0 up. Lying 1. Nicholas Edin has got a tap back for 2. Seem happy with it. Plays it perfectly. Score of 2 for Sweden. So Sweden lead 2-1 after 3. So Norway line 2. Just having a technical timeout. The handle of the stone was loose, so the ice technician's called on to tighten it up. The clock will stop while that's happening.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.我觉得这边直一点，直一点。外甩，外甩，外甩点。这边甩。2 yes yes oh yes 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 go go go.
Try to get the shooter behind the corner guard. Doesn't bury it.
Jeg synes det heller sammen ut, så da tror jeg det er bra. Det ser veldig bra ut.
To his teammates, sometimes Stefan's called Winnie the Pooh.
Because he likes honey.
Yes. I'm not sure if he does it every time anymore. But at least he's quite used to seeing him with a tub of honey and a spoon. And he would constantly be snacking on some honey.
Oh, his teammates will be Tigger and Piglet. And Roo, if he's Winnie the Pooh.
Ole Brumm, it's called in Norwegian.
Okay, I'll believe you. So a nice hit and flop there.
Leaves a double though for China.
But may force him to take a 1.
Yeah, 3 outcomes here, really. Steal of 1, score of 1, or maybe even a blank. Try and slash the double here and roll out. They're just nosing it for the 1. Somewhere in between, and it's a steal. Or getting ahead of ourselves, Rona. couple of shots left in this one.
He didn't want to leave himself guarding that Norwegian stone. Even if he jammed, as long as his shooter had rolled away a bit. But set it up nicely for Norway here to get a steal.
Men der har du litt mer å gå på.
Just having a debate the best place to put this.
Never see the screen that they have in each end of the sheet. Looking at the time, 40 seconds left. Could guard it, force China to play the draw. Or they could draw into the house and just try and lie a second shot. The risk there is you leave an angle for a double takeout, score 2. Of course, the risk with the guard, you miss the guard. You'll leave a run back for 2, but you would think you should be at least close to hiding a piece of that red with a guard.
Yeah, the last thing they want to do is leave a double for China, because they have control here at this end, Norway, to either force 1 or get a steal.
Just 5 seconds left on the clock as Stefan crosses the T line. Just needs to stop anywhere in front of this red stone.
The sweepers seem fairly happy with the weight. How's the line?
Needs to curl.
Even
Really
if
needs
they
to
have
curl.
checked the red, it wouldn't be bad.
Trying to get a dig in. I think that's probably enough. Just had to hide a little piece of it. So it's a draw. I think it's fair to say there's only 2 outcomes now for the last one.
Yes. China draw for 1 or Norway steal 1. But the whole forefoot's open. There is a way in for China. Skip's dream, draw the forefoot.
Always want to try and throw it a couple feet short. Leave your sweepers with a bit of room to work. They're having to work hard with this one, actually. Need to keep it alive. Need to bring this one into the forfeit, and they do. Good shot, good sweep. Good team shot overall. 1 point for China to tie up the game. But Norway have effectively turned the hammer. They'll have last stone advantage for the 4th end when we return.
Skal vi ta oss en velfortjent pause? Kaffepause? Det var digg, så er det sånn samles i varmestua liksom, og ta en kakao.
6-7。
有点紧。
哦，别下这个。
正常。
刷的大一点。OK， 刷对。
China scores the 1, bringing the first stone into the forfeit. It's all tied here as Magnus Vågberg will throw the corner guard. Did miss one, coming down just very path 2 ends ago. This time giving the sweeper something to work with. One thing's for sure, sin number 1 is to put a corner guard into the house. Sin number 2, Rona, is do it twice in a game.
That's not good.
Speaking as a lead myself.
Is that what you do?
Well, we might have to go down the list for me, Rona, but...
Is that why you're sitting up here and not out there?
You might be onto something.
Wang Jingwan just looking to put up a centre guard.
Yeah, the corner guard finds a neat spot, so China now just trying to protect that. Shots done in the forfeit so far, 3 perfect shots from the leads. We're just looking for one more. So a couple of options here. Some teams, they elect to just freeze the red stone. But then sometimes you'll see the opposition throw a long guard, and then you're chasing, needing to peel the guard. So Norway would quite like to come around here and just tap that red stone out of the forfeit and even behind the tee line, even if that means the shooter stays in the open.
And it's even not a bad shot if you just rob the guard and give yourself another corner guard.
Right.
The last thing is to be wide and heavy.
Well, that is exactly what's going to happen here. Good throw, he says, Stefan. Just a tad too much ice. That's some frustration showing.
And also
from
just
the
a
lead.
fraction heavy. It was just to be a background weight, but it was more a hack weight.
So quite a lot of rotation from Ko. Talked about this yesterday, how stones might run a bit straighter the more rotation you have. And sometimes the finish comes a bit later. Just trying to half tuck around this centre guard. Finds an okay spot. But now Norway with a chance to open it up. Could they get all 3 here?
Yep, they certainly could, but the main objective is to remove both the guard and the one top 12. Magnus Nedergotten, 88% for the tournament so far, so pretty steady from him. A bit of an error there. They give themselves another corner guard, but he jammed the top one. So leaves China on the forefoot and guarded. Just tight of line the whole way. They tried to hold it. But advantage China now. A good guard from China. Norway are trying to remove this double guard. Open things up. They've got last stone.
1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. That's one way to tidy it up.
After his first error, just made sure he made up for it.
Real good. Gets all the reds going.
Perfect. And they're left with some corner guards. So China coming around this corner first. Nicely played. So we'll look over at the mixed doubles. China versus Russia, 2-all. China lying 1. Last stone here for Maria Komarova. She has got a chance to remove. Oh, just next that other red, and I think scores 3. Great shot there from Russia. Russia take the lead 5-2 after 4 ends.
6. Okay, 7. Det greit, så skal han forbi nå. 6. 6, 7. 5. Okay. 6. 5,5. 6, 7. Det bounce som også forbi? Ja, vi på linje med han omtrent nå. 7. Vi forbi. Vi forbi. 8. 8. 8. Stille. 14-1.
So draw for Norway to the back of the 4. China will be able to see enough to tap it back.
Wow.
81% for Lingji for the tournament so far. Sweeper standing well back here. And flashes right past. So a great chance for Norway now. They've got last stone. Try and get that second counter in here. 81% also for Marcus Hoiberg. Ideally, a half check on the top red would be perfect.
Linja perfekt. 6. Kan køle et hår. Ja, kan ikke. Bra da. Du får trykke den bak, eller?
Don't want to rub off it, just want to half check it.
Japp, fortsatt.
Ah, lovely shot.
Bra spill.
Happy with that one?
Baby.
So Mashua looking to come around and just freeze that Norwegian stone back of the 4 foot. 71% for him for the tournament. Looking high of line at the moment. He's on the yellow guard. Big mistake there. Took a bit more ice and it ran straight.
See if Norway wants to make a play on that yellow-red combo. Seeming to think they're only lying 1, so
it's pretty close. I've had a couple of looks at it.
Play board weight. Hit the yellow, try and roll the shooter in behind cover on the left. Quite a lot of cover there, so could be line 3 here.
Prøver egentlig å rulle mest til hølet der, sånn at det ikke overlapper hvis de får en dobbelt tilbake. Okay.
75% for Stefan Holstad.
Det bra.
This is their 3rd game. So they've played everybody in the section once after this game.
Yep, elephant. Oh! Yep! Hard! Whoa!
Must be close, they're on and off it.
Whoa!
Really nice shot. Removes the red from play. Shooter rolls over. Lies 3.
That's pretty good.
Jeg tror den røde traff vantet. Ja.
你是要找边上那个还是找中间这俩？
中间那俩。
OK， 然后头还能甩过来。
对，头
还能藏头。赶紧先。
正常不？
对，正常。
So Mashua looking to lift the double here on the yellows and roll the shooter over. Lie shot behind cover.
Wow, great shot, double and roll, and behind cover. Almost fully buried. But actually,
It's a
one
really
yellow
good
sticks
spot.
around. I thought that was going.
It's a good spot for his shooter, though. That was the most important thing, where his shooter was going to land. They wanted to bury it behind the guards. Not easy for Norway to remove that without jamming. See the sweeper just trying to take that over. Norway can't afford to jam this on the yellow at the side.
Yeah, because you catch about a quarter here. Good chance you just tap it back onto your own yellow. Can't see much of it. Tough shot here now, left for Stefan Wallstad. Last on 4th end. It could be 3. Could very easily be a steal here if they nick the guard. Sweeping this all the way, trying to get it past the guard, but it's really starting to bend, really starting to curl. Right past the guard.
Wow.
Well, they curl enough to avoid the jam yesterday. Well, beautiful shot. And that is 3 points for Norway. Some great curling here before halftime. Norway up 5-2. Wågberg holding the line here really well for his skipper. So half-time for the teams. 4 ends to go when they return in a few minutes.
First end, Norway line 1. Mashua looking for the blank. Hits and sits, takes the 1. Second end, Norway with a draw for 2. And Supers nurse it in perfectly. Third end, Norway line 1, corner of the 4-foot. Mashiwa looking to draw into the 4-foot. Sweepers worked really hard, just get it there. Score of 1 for China.
Ja, nå må jeg ta oss en velfortjent pause. Kaffepause.
So we're going to have a look over here, Japan, Sweden. Sweden lying 3. Some worried looks here. Sweepers working this really hard. Facing 3 Swedish counters. Can they get it past the top one? Just
Line's
nicks
good.
it.
Shoot for top
Rolls
12,
to the
top
side.
8.
Lots of room, guys.
And it's a steal of 2
Line's
for
good.
Sweden.
Top 8.
Room.
Top 12's the miss. Go ahead.
Elsewhere this morning in the Jonkoping Curling Hall. Sweden up 4-1 on Japan. Switzerland up 2-1 on USA. Russia is up 5-3 on China mixed doubles, and Canada 2-1 on Scotland.
Everybody, food and drink. Yeah. No, behind the computer. Any questions? Okay. Good.
Han prøvde å gestikulere og alt sånt, og så sånn ut. Og så sykt demonstrativt at han liksom bare var så frustrert over skrittelsen.
Spille til, da. Ja.
So good numbers for the teams this morning, playing in around 80%. Not too much to pick at, but maybe the hit accuracy for China, not quite where it's supposed to be. They're just 4 points behind on total, but 3 points behind on the scoreboard, and that's what really counts. They'll have last stone for the 5th end, though, trailing by 3, but with the 5-rock rule, there'll be lots of rocks in play and lots more exciting curling for the second half.
6.
Did you modify? Yeah.
Inne, selvfølgelig. Inne.
Fire.
Linje er bra.
5. 5.
Ok, linje er bra. Markus nærmest.
5.
Av plass. Bra spill.
Back on the ice after halftime, it's the Curling World Cup Leg 3 in Jonkoping, Sweden. You're listening to myself, Sander Våg. I'm joined by Rona Howie. It's been a good game so far.
Yep, it has. Both teams have played well. Just a few errors from China, and Norway have been able to capitalise. Great shot there from Stefan Wallstad to score 3. Could very easily have been a steal of 1 there for China. But now China have the hammer. They're going to try and put up the guards, try and generate something. It's the second half of the game. They now have 4 minutes 15 per end of thinking time. See there, Magnus Faberg, 66% for the game. A lot lower than his tournament average.
Litt tight.
6.
Litt tight.
6.
Yep, yep.
6.
Yep. Hard.
På linje med han.
But he's
Okay,
got
hold on.
4 ends to
Isen eventuelt.
make up that
Må
deficit.
gå for det også. Tvil.
Ja, det
Ja,
var
farta.
4. 15 blank den da. Men han skal en sten lenger ut da.
Wang Jingwan having a great game today, 94%. It's been very steady. So important. The lead to set up the end. It's all right having tactics to play the game. The lead needs to set it up. Plays another good corner guard.
2,5.
Settes lang ut.
Hold den i gang.
3.
Hold den i gang, kan bli tight.
Den er tight, men
Rent og dø, rent og dø, rent og dø. Vågberg, rent og dø.
So Norway looking just to guard their 2 yellows
Greit det.
in the house. China can see enough of that top one just to play a tap back, remove the back yellow and sit on top of the other yellow, or even roll their shooter. Zhengguo, it's steady game for him, very consistent throughout the tournament.
Yes!
Just didn't completely bury behind that corner guard.
One. Yep.
Norway will try and remove it and some separation between his yellow stones.
Rent.
Ja. Med fart.
Rent.
Wow.
Wow.
Ja.
Rent, japp.
Ja.
Japp. Hard.
Wow.
Hard, 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 hard.
Wow.
Spill. 11-5. Perfekt fart. Okay.
So punches out the red and rolls over and freezes their own yellow. So not easy for China to remove both of those. Again, China will play that same shot, tapping the back yellow out and trying to get the shooter to roll behind cover.
Whoa. No. Whoa. Whoa. No.
Waiting for this to occur out. Quite a lot of rotation. Is the shooter going to stay? It doesn't, it rolls out. And punches the other yellow behind the guard.
Yeah, it might have been tempting for Norway to come around the guards and sit 2 buried, but can play this whole defensively. Peel this corner guard.
I suppose at this stage as well, they'll play the scoreboard, they're 5-2 up.
Very easy to get sucked into playing with all rocks in play. The 5 rock. He's maybe hoping to actually make the double. Catch is a bit too thick.
7、7、
我
8、
2力量2
7、7、8不大。
2 yes 俩人2降得非常好 go 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 2
India just trying to tap up their own red. Just light of weight. Sweepers tried to help it along the way, but it's a wider line and it
80、
digs in quicker.
差了一点，出来看是7、8，减一减直接就到5、6了。
Har ikke vært så mye på høyre siden av vi. Har det noen tider der? Spiller 14-2 da. Så vi får toerne, så er det greit da. Ja, 14-5. Ja, 14-2. Ja. Vært det grei, litt løs kanskje?
Hold den i gang
6, 5,
linja er bra
6, 7,
har du plass
6, 7,
masse
8,
plass Vågberg
6, 8.
bare Vågberg
So Marcus Højberg looking to come right around.
Vågberg
Jeg får garanti, vi må gå.
Vågberg
Want to try and stay top tee if they can.
begge to
Spill.
Good shot. Doesn't completely bury, but the inside of the stone's buried.
Jobba.
To save China getting a hit and roll inside. Just looking to tap back, hold the shooter.
Didn't even sweep that yellow one.
So over Sweden 4-1 up. Sheet 8 against Japan. Sweden lying 3. Masaki Iwai facing 3 Swedish counters. Really need to score here at this 5th end. He's got a nose hit for 1 and plays it perfectly. So Japan score 1, Sweden lead 4-2 after 5.
Ni blank, 8-5.
Forsiktig
Ni blank.
Forsiktig. Wow.
8-5.
Helt vekk
Det blir 3 da.
So just a hit and roll out there for Norway. Who's third shot? Norway certainly lie 2.
Eller har
But China will ignore that and just come around the whole granite that's sitting out front.
大概80、85之间左右差不多。
再来一点
85差不多，85差不多。
They don't need to be far in to lie short, as long as they bury. 66% for Mashua.
我看小点，
大一点，看还行。
你下前台，
下路怎么样
先带着点。
6。
我力量
5、6、6，
下前
力量 OK 啊。
力量下前
小点，小不能放。
下到底下底 go Fire
Trying to pull it as far as they can. They're past the top one. Can they bury it?
先打已经。
It's not completely buried. Norway will be able to see enough of that. See 3/4 of the stone. Just needed a bit more weight and running to bury that in behind.
已经出门就开始下。
Also just need to be careful here. They don't jam the back yellow there on the left-hand side. Back ring.
Ja, og få den over, tenkte du?
Nei, bare om den jammer rett bort. Da er det ikke. Jo, så jeg tenkte jammen er ikke noe issue. Nei. Hack, ja. Er ikke den isen? Ja. Håret rett der inne er enn det andre veien. Ja.
So just a hack weight tap back.
Hack prøver å sitte igjen der, selv om vi jammer på den bak der, så sitter vi to.
Ja. Har vi noe å jobbe med der?
Ja, om det er mye, synes du?
Nei, jeg lurer på om vi har noe å jobbe med, tror du?
Jeg tror det der er veldig bra is, det. Kontrollkosting.
Enjoying a good start to this game.
12-5!
Hold den i gang. Ja!
Jump! Whoa! Whoa! Rent!
Well, off and on here should be pretty close. That's another good shot by the Norwegian skipper.
Great shot.
I think they're lying at least 3.
3 and pretty close for 4.
Had a couple of mistakes against Ross Patterson from Scotland yesterday.
Yeah, Norway were 2 up playing the last end. Ended up going into a shootout and they lost that. So they had control and lost it. So today they've got the control. They don't want to lose it.
Forfeit for the 2 points, and it's heavy through the house. We're playing very much on point so far through 5 ends. Team China as well here, just lightly brushing this one. Even makes the hit and roll in behind just for show. But it's 1 point for China. They still trail Norway now 3-5 with 3 ends to go. There's still a few ends left to do it.
Ligger Gwingen eller corner nå?
够进，肯定没问题，肯定够进。
别压东西了，别压东西。
The first stone is just barely across that hog line and in play. China will be going out, all out for a steal here in the 6th end. You would expect him to throw another centre guard as well, as Magnus Wågberg is asked to just come around the centre. Probably put this maybe top forfeit, try and take control of that area before China gets there. So, playing for points, of course, to try and win their group and progress to the final. Win the final, you get another 10 points, try and make it to the grand final in Beijing. But there's some money as well involved with these games. Not only if you win the tournament, but each game is worth some cash. And that's certainly something that's needed for quite a lot of the curlers. I'd say everyone, but we know we have some amateurs and semi-professionals out there as well.
Yeah, some players are full-time curlers, but some aren't. They need to balance curling with their jobs. So there we can see the list of prize money for men and women. So they win the round robin game, they get $1,500. So there's 18,000 available per group. It's double round robin, so there's 6 games played. You win the event, you get 20,000. Lose a final, you get 10,000. So there's plenty of money available. So, and a great incentive for players to be winning games.
Well, even if you're a professional curler, I don't think there's many millionaires out there playing. No. It's I'd say a professional curler is just means you have enough funds to not have to work for the most part, and your expenses are covered in terms of flights and hotels.
It does make a big difference for curlers to have that, to be able to focus on their training, you know, on the ice, in the gym, all the parts of the game that they need to work on with psychology, and being an elite athlete entails.
For most curlers, if you have food on the table and you can pay your rent at home and travel around by curling, you're well happy. And anything else is a big bonus. As we saw, are we just wrecking on the guard? Went out of play, so replaced as it was sitting in the free guard zone. China still with 2 center guards. But that first one from Norway in a good spot.
There is a great incentive for the teams to win the money here and win the event, get the grand final in China, and win even more money there and play the best teams in the world.
Yep. Yep.
So the winners of each of the legs of the World Cup will go to Beijing. But the other countries who qualify for the final will be chosen by the member associations as to what team they send. Take a look over Scotland-Canada. Canada leading 2-1. Scotland lying 1. Ross Patterson, last stone. Draw for 2. Hasn't got a lot of room to play with to get the second counter in. Can afford to split off his own. Plays it perfectly. Great shot. Scotland score 2, so take the lead 3-2 after 5 ends. It's Ross Patterson's first time at Curling World Cup, as well as Matt Dunstone and his Canadian side. That's a table topper in that group. Both these teams are top 2 teams in the section.
Whoa! 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 Dan! Whoa! Whoa! Yep! 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 Hard!
Tried to split off the guard and the one in the house.
Desperate line caller at the end. Just curled a bit too much.
Oh, China just catch the top guard. That was not a good result. They have left the centre guard now over the Norwegian stone.
Okay. T5.
Så tar du jo senteren da, ikke sant? Men må jo ikke det nå. blank.
Hold den i gang.
Bra fart.
Hold.
Litt opp.
Rent. Wow.
So a chance for Norway to head and lie too.
Rent. Trenger ikke koke opp. Spill. 10-6. Bra fart.
And we have a final score. Russia beating China in the mixed doubles, 8-3. Maria Komarova, Danil Goryachev continue with their winning streak.
Eneste jeg er redd for dem sin del, kom hit nå. Så her eller her. Dobbelen går rett på den.
Norway would quite like to stay defensive here and just protect their lead. They got the hammer. You don't want to get too sucked into anything around the forefoot and around the center guard, but they're almost a bit forced to do that now. They're lying two in behind cover. Could peel those center guards, but they're lined up against that yellow on the wing. So if you play that peel, they're most likely going to be forced to a 1. This is a great opportunity to maybe even score a couple of points here and put the game to bed. This one really hanging out there though. Don't want to show the inside here and leave a double or a hidden rule. That probably does enough. Just takes away that in-turn draw for China. They could have come around there to the back four.
Yeah, that one just didn't curl as much as they thought at the end there. China not even looking at it. They're looking at the raise.
Well, there's a bit of a pocket now on the yellows. Actually, a little bit of room. You can catch it a few different ways. Ideally, you maybe leave the shooter as a guard. Don't want to catch the top red thin here and double off your own guards. He will not. He'll make the run back. Leaves two yellows though. And only maybe half buried.
He was very unlucky there that his shooter bounced out. Sorry, the guard that he pushed in bounced out. I see the Norwegians have some tartan on their brush. They just like a wee bit of Scottish heritage in there.
Not sure if
Jeg
it's...
tror det blir vanskelig å sitte igjen der. Det skjer bare halve.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Nei,
Tartan,
det er grei fart, det liker isen.
tartan-esque.
Hæ? Og så bare slår og ruller, det er greit det.
But the back end of this Norwegian team they're from a place called Oppdal. About 7,000 or 8,000 people live there in the mountains. Great place for skiing. They've had curling since I believe the 50s. Some Scottish railway workers came up to work on the railway, brought the game along.
We're very thoughtful in that respect, the Scots. Nice tap back there. To lie 3. Really put the pressure onto China now. So he's got some options. He could tap his red, he could draw right around, Could hit and roll off the yellow.
时间很快，不着急。
他甩，半刷子吧。
剩40秒我就捶他一下子。
尝鲜。
要是再那啥，他就往这边
看啊。擦擦冰吧，我稍微较小一点点。OK。
时间有的是，没事。
Definitely needs to make a roll here. There's quite a bit to roll to. Obviously, you don't want to end up right in the middle of the hole on the center line. But you could roll far. Even if you're behind the yellow on the far left, it makes it a lot harder for Norway. Just need to give it a chance here. Give the sweepers a chance to hold the line for you, not overthrow it. Nose hit, and just going to leave Norway a chance to score 3.
Must be close.
They're going to roll here. Roll far, looking good here. To the forefoot, fully buried. Beautiful shot there.
Fantastic shot.
Under pressure.
A nice controlled weight to get that roll.
You know, you missed that shot. Game's probably over. Now it's made, could potentially steal here. This fantastic roll. And the game could be wide open again. One of those key shots. Cool customer. But it's not over yet, of course. A chance for Norway still. Maybe not to score 3, but definitely 2 is possible here.
Need to catch their own fairly thin.
Yeah, slashing this yellow onto the red. Ideally, you stick it for 2. But if you just make contact, at least you score your 1 here. Last stone, 6th end. Up by 2. Wanting to increase that lead. Sounds pretty close. Does it have enough? Yes, it does. What a beautiful shot. Back to back here. Some great action. And some beautiful performances by both skips. And that is stuck for 2. Norway jumps up to a 4-point lead. Great shot making this morning. Certainly had a good sleep, both teams, I would think. But Norway will lead this one 7-3. 2 ends to go.
Magnus.
7-3 the score. Norway playing China. It's a session 8 of the Curling World Cup here in Jonkoping. China have it all to do here.
OK， 可以下啊，刷这儿，可以下，是不是小一点？这也可以。我。
Tappe den. Det er bra. 9. 8, 9. OK, og så kan vi runde den nå. 9. 8.
A few sloppy shots from Magnus Vågberg so far today.
Setter seg ganske bra. 6, 7.
But what you
Ja, få litt oss hjem til å legge opp en sånn frislående.
what you miss in shot making, you can certainly make up for in sweeping and calling weight and making shots for your other teammates.
Absolutely. You're not going to shoot high percentages every single game you play, so it's being part of the team and what you can give to the team. And that just proves a point. Norway are winning this game quite comfortably, and yet their lead is not having his best game.
I think if you're leading, you shoot 100%, but you under or oversweep every other stone of the game. That's not helping. It's so much more than just the stone placement, but of course that helps a lot as well.
Yeah, it's one of the few sports where all 4 players contribute to every single shot.
Yeah, the skip needs to read the ice, figure out how much it's going to curl. The sweepers and the thrower is trying to figure out how quick the spot is. Of course, it's not going to be perfectly uniform at all times, and the ice is alive. It does change throughout the game. And of course, after the stone is released, there's that communication to when to sweep and how to sweep in order to put it in the right spot. And they've done that well here. Norway puts up a centre guard. So you can certainly see there's rocks in play. Norway's up by 4. Well, the first 5 stones of the end are all in play. And that's very much down to the 5-rock rule, I would have to say. Norway not allowed to remove those corner guards.
A nice hit and roll there behind the cover.
Ta den her, du.
You can see the comparison of the second players. Jonko just slightly ahead of Magnus Nedergotten.
There's a slight overcurl in the intern peel again from Magnus. Probably does enough.
Norway are 4 up with 2 ends to play. Even if they give up a 2 here, they're not bothered. Or potentially a 3, they would still be 1 up. Coming home with the hammer.
Yeah, very much in control, so
You just don't need to do anything daft here or got sucked in to a drawing game by China.
it's so easy though with the 5-rock rule. So many rocks in play early on, you think, well, we're invested in the end now, might as well.
Yeah, we'll just bring
Play the
another one
attack.
round and oh dear, we've left them a freeze.
But you can also just try and make the simple defensive calls, thinking, well, we do this, they might score 2 or 3, but as soon as they make a mistake, then you can maybe at least cut them down to 2. Look at the scoreboard. Like you said, even if you give up 3, up 1 with the hammer.
And they will be looking at that game we were talking about last night when they were 2 up playing the last end against Scotland and lost that in the shootout. They won't want to make the same mistake again.
Run back called for Marcus Høiberg. Wanted to run this onto the red, but catches the yellow. Spills a Chinese counter. Anyways, they're pretty happy with it. So as long as they keep removing 1 red, China's only scoring 2.
A look over Switzerland 3-2 up on United States. US line 1, back of the button. Yannick Schwaller looking to tap this back for a couple. Past the top red. And plays it perfectly. Score of 2 for Switzerland, takes the game to 5-2 after 6 ends.
Japp, ja linje. Linje er grei. Bare fart. 7. Japp. 7. Wow, bare fart. 7. 8. Rent. Nære. Japp. Hard. Hard. Helst ikke på fart. Nei, aldri på fart.
Doesn't sit for shot stone. Leaves China line 1. Sometimes in the game as well, when you're 7-3 up, you just lose that wee ounce of focus and concentration.
14-1, they said, on that draw between the hog lines. Pretty quick. You see 90% for Heiberg. I think that's telling a bit of the story here. The Norwegian backhand has outplayed the Chinese third and fourth player.
Vinci not his best game today, but can still capitalise on that error from Norway. Oh, lovely shot.
Frysen.
Could try and peel it out, but you can't see too much of it. Stefan usually pretty comfortable with the drawing game. So they'll try and freeze the red, even if they're a foot short in their second shot. They'll put it in a very awkward spot for China.
Har plass foreløpig, venter på linje. Linje bra! Linje bra!
Looking to freeze on top of this Chinese stone.
Hard linje, hard linje! 6! Hard! Hard! Kom igjen,
Past the top one. Oh, sweepers worked that really well.
Really good shot. Starting to look on form. You know, they made it to the final in the first leg, Team Norway. We'd love to win. As you see, that's the 20 points they scored in the first leg in Suzhou. Ulsrud was an Omaha, picked up 9 points there, so they should be pretty well qualified for the grand final. USA on top with 32 points. Of course, extra money as well in the grand final in Beijing. Now, the Wallstad team, they're not a shoe-in to play the final. Depends on what the federation feels, who they want to send. But of course, they have done better of the two sides. Ulsrud didn't make it to the final in Omaha.
And I think some nations have sent the same team to all 3 legs. So if they do qualify, you would assume they would send that same team.
So see the stats for Wallstad here this morning, shooting 96%, very solid. Yeah, perfect freeze as well here. Trying to peel it, hoping for the jam in the back, and they do.
What a shot.
Yeah, that's really well read. You know, it was a great shot by Stefan, but to be honest, I didn't even have a closer look. But as that stone was coming down, totally understand what Team China was thinking. That's the drag effect you'll see here. That yellow stone just dragging the red stone a bit away from the camera, as we saw there, and onto the back yellow. So that's a great read and a great throw. China sits 2. A little unlucky with the angle there, actually, Team Norway. We're going to have to play another good draw here. And this time, they wouldn't mind if they came all the way down onto the red stone in the back. Oh, calling this heavy. I've seen this a couple of times from Stefan. And he looks to add just 2 feet of weight on his second throw, just adding a bit too much. The sweepers can't do anything with this. An little sweeping behind the tee line from Ling. That's to the back 12. China has an open draw for 3 all of a sudden. Well,
amazing how an end can turn around. One shot.
We said Norway could afford to give up a 3, but they certainly didn't want to.
And Norway didn't do much wrong at that end.
No.
It's that last stone, really. But as we've said, the new 5-rock free guard zone rule makes a difference. A lot more stones in play and a lot more opportunity to build up ahead. Sweepers working this one. Just need to be in the 8 foot. Yeah, perfect.
Well, a strong comeback on the cards here for China. Scores 3. So still with a fighting chance in the game. Norway will still lead it though by 1, 7-6. After 7, 1 end left here in Jonkoping.
Ja, og så det litt tungt, synes jeg. På den ene gangen, i hvert fall. Det må være litt løst.
Det er ikke saken du ser den her da.
Nei, men det virker ikke som den mister noe fart når den treffer, liksom. Bare skyter fart. Side.
快点，3吗？
可以吗？3，
来两下子。不，放两下子。
抓这儿。
放两下，放两下。
回下正常就行。
上个零，你现在已经上。
来点。
稍微深一点，稍微深一点。
OK。
A big 3 in the 7th end for China. Could they turn this game around? We will see 1 end left here. And there's no extra end, remember. If China steals 1 here, ties the game, we go right to a shootout. 1 stone each per team, closest to the center. They will win, but not all 3 points. You will only win the 2. The loser of a shootout gets the 1 point. Also the money split accordingly. And you know, Norway, but they were up 2 on Scotland yesterday. Without Hammer, of course, but gave up that 2 and lost the shootout. Looked like they were in control. You can hear lead Vågberg for Norway just saying, I think this is the worst game I have ever played.
As we said earlier, you're not going to play well absolutely every game. So it's what you give to the team, and he's still giving a lot. to the management of all the rest of the stones in the game, and communication and team dynamics.
Well, missed the first tick shot. So giving China a chance here to have two centre guards in play. Sometimes you'll see a team come around the centre guards on the second one when the first tick shot doesn't come off, just to take control of that forefoot. But they'll try and just soft peel the tightest guard here. Trying to get it past the top one. Uh-oh. Well, does catch the top one. It does take that over, so it certainly does help.
Sweepers held that one well.
In-turn draw might be choked off here. That port would be fairly tight, but the out-turn, the counterclockwise draw on the right is open for Norway, and that's really all they're hoping for, isn't it? Just keep it open and have a chance for the skipper to put on the forfeit for the win.
Absolutely, that's just the focus for Norway at this end, to keep that forefoot open, so that when Stefan comes to play his last stone, he has a way in. Great come around there, Chanko, top of the 1 foot. Straight away Norway just go to peel.
Big extension from Nedergotten. I wonder if they're looking to actually run this back. So adding the extra weight. So if you're then just off nose, you make sure the shooter rolls out. Because the main objective always to get that guard. But that shot stone from China in such a good spot. I don't think Stefan really wants to have to outdraw that stone on his last one.
No, that would be a slightly tricky one.
Especially considering he came up heavy on his draw on the 7th. Kuo from Harbin, China. A city of over 5 million people coming to Jonkoping, where there's just under 100,000. And for the back end of Norway there, from a small town of about 7,000 or 8,000.
And another game over. Sweden, Nicholas Edin's quartet, winning 5-4 over Japan. Closer final score. Japan fought back well, just ran out of stones.
Rent! Yep! Yep! Hard! I got it! Whoa, whoa! Yep! Yep! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Ja, bra. Bra det. 12-6.
So a few stones building up here. China lie 1, but it's on the top of the button, so they just keep continuing to guard it. Norway had the chance there to get it off the button, just caught the guard. There is a good finish on the ice. So if you get that chance to remove it from the button, you want to take it. But as long as you err on the correct side and split the guard if you're not making the shot.
Bare fart, hold blank. 11 blank. Rent. 11-5. Rent. Rent. Bare rent. Rent. Vågberg, Vågberg.
Marcus Højberg played a lovely controlled weight. Removes that one from the 1 foot.
12 blank.
Really good shot.
Guard 擦一
力
擦。
量
56。
继续。
6
是力量，看力量啊。
6。
加六可以下线，可以下线。
小点，小点，小点。
好，力量 OK。只是力量。继续。
6 OK。6-7。
带着点。
6-7。
哦，下线。
6。
下线，下线，下线，下线，没事，没事。
China replacing that one, trying to draw to the 1 foot. Slide slightly back tee. Norway will ignore that and peel off the guard.
Well, we did see Sweden pick up that win on Japan 5-4. Switzerland is currently playing up by 1 on USA. That's Russia. They beat China 8-3 in the mixed doubles. And also Canada playing Scotland in the men's game. 4-3 lead for Canada. Scotland would hammer in the 8th end over there.
Three.
3区。
嗯。
95，对95，24秒，对。我4秒到几区？3区差不多。就4秒，差不多。90到。主要线路。
So Norway kept the centre open. China do lie short.
稍微小点儿。线路怎么样？
They want to just
下线，下线。
guard this one.
力量。力量。正常，正常。正常。
Try and force an error out of Norway.
力量小。下的线，下线。下线。二，下到底。二，再来点，再来点。二。
Trying to sweep for a line there, trying to pull it across. They haven't covered the red stone.
他磕完了，咱再轻磕一下吧。他想。
It is a centre guard that China can use with the last stone of the end.
Ja, tenk, hvis han klarer å legge den helt perfekt, da, så må jeg rønne.
So Norway looking right now is to take the one off the side of the button, or do they go for the raise on the guard and lift them both?
Kan vel ta garden her også, kan man ikke? Du har bestemt deg? Ja. Ja, jeg liker det. Ja. Det er litt sving på pil der. Og intern. Du kan ha noe. Jeg synes du skulle gå for det valget. Ja, ikke noe dårligere.
Stefan Wallstad just choosing to remove the red side of the button.
Yep.
Quite happy to roll away, give nothing for China to freeze. So now China, they have got the centre guard to use. Need to come around to the top of the button.
Well, is there room for the draw? You said that red stone at the top might take away that draw path. Might have to try and tap this yellow one back. Don't think you can see the inside. Be very hard to flop behind. Just edge to edge, so just have to come as close to that red stone as possible. The tight center guard. And if you could at least maybe try and nose hit it and stay edge to edge. And Norway's going to have to play the same shot for the win. Or at least peel it out. Play a heavy draw, maybe get to the inside. No need to kill the yellow, especially seeing how Norway is sitting second shot as well. They have a saver. Could be cheeky, try and play the run back on the red, try and roll them on a line, but very tough to do. Looking like a hack weight. Just get as close to that guard as possible. Can they get a little inside flop? Yes, they can. Push the yellow far enough. Actually over curls it. Looked hard to do from our perspective. Wow, that throw was made. It just needed a bit more sweeping.
Really nice weight just to get the flop inside, and unlucky, it just went too far. Just needed to hold it a bit more with the sweeping.
Håret mer bare, Markus. Ja.
One stone left to go in this game. Will it be 3 points for Norway?
Yep.
Or will we have a shootout, Stefan? Wallstad needs to hit this red, make contact, but a big sweep here from Vågberg, trying to hold it past the guard, but just enough. And a win for Norway. A little too close to that guard. Than needed, the lead says. But it's good enough. A good sweep by him. And a good game overall by Team Norway. Seemed in control until they gave up that 3 and 7. But well happy to win this one. Final score 10-6. 3 points for Norway.
3 yellow.
Just one game remaining on this session. Switzerland versus USA in the men's. Switzerland leading 5-4. They have hammer at the 8th. Just 2 stones to come. 1 for each skip. Switzerland lying 1 back of the 4 foot.
Like 4 feet left and I just threw. What I just throw.
Corey Dropkin just looking to
Line's pretty good. Clean. Go ahead then. Top button.
draw it to the top of the 1
Line's
foot.
good. Easy. Go ahead if you gotta go. Top tee. Top 4. Go then. Gotta be full 4 foot. Switch. Z, go ahead. Gotta switch. Both of you. Go ahead. Come on.
Needs to lie
Come on,
shot.
keep dragging it.
Hard, fellas.
Come on, Ziggy, go.
Hard, fellas.
Go, Ziggy, come on.
Go,
Hard.
go, go,
Hurry
go,
it.
go, go,
Go,
Ziggy.
go, 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 go. Come on.
Oh, and just comes up short. So Switzerland score 1, take the win. They're on a win and a win from a draw shot
Good luck.
shootout. So that's our second win of the tournament. Yannick Schwaller
Good scrum, fellas.
Good end, guys.
happy with that win.
Oh, that's the same ice you. It's the same ice you. Just 14. Yours was like 13.
Skip's always happy when he doesn't need to throw his last stone.
13.5, that was 14.
You got a 13-2 on his that topped it. Så jag släppte chasing lite, ja.
And over on sheet E, it was a tied game, Canada-Scotland, 4-all, and it went to a shootout. Scotland winning that shootout for the second game in a row.
Yeah, Ross Patterson just putting that right on the pin. Didn't leave much room for Matt Dunstone as he just over-curled the centre line.
So that levels that section. Scotland and Canada both on 8 points. Oh, sorry, Scotland will be in 7 points.
See the scoreline for our feature game this morning. It was a 10-6 win for Norway. Taking a look at some of the highlights.
Sixth end, China played a fantastic hit and roll behind cover. Steven Wallstad had to go for a thin angle across, plays it perfectly. Great shot, score of 2. Seventh end, after a heavy draw from Norway, China left with a draw for 3. Keep themselves in the game, makes it perfectly. Eighth end, Norway can't see the whole stone, just need to nick it out to win the game.
Yep. Hard!
Very close to the top guard, but makes it. Score of 3 and a win for Norway.
Good game. Good game. Good game. Good game.
And those are all the scores from the session this morning. In men's play, Sweden beating Japan 5-4, Switzerland beating USA 6-4, and Scotland beating Canada 5-4. The only mixed doubles game out there this morning was Russia taking on China. The Russians coming out on top 8-3. So those are the men's standings as it lies. Switzerland on top with 8 points in Group A, followed by Sweden at 7, USA 3, and Japan no points. Very close in Group B between Canada and Scotland, now both at 7 points. Norway at 4. China still to pick up any points here in Jonkoping. And those are the points. You score a 3 if you win the game within 8 ends, 2 points through a shootout, and 1 if you lose the shootout, but you can score an additional 5 points if you lose the final, but of course, big 10 points if you win the whole event. And that could bring you one step closer to the grand final in Beijing. We have an interview with Stefan Wallstein, winning skip of Team Norway. Yesterday seemed like the game against Scotland slipped through your fingers. Were you worried that was going to happen again, giving up a 3 in the 7th?
Yeah, kind of. I think we made most of our shots. Like we had the one draw in the 7th that was long and gave them the 3. So in retrospect, we probably should have peeled longer and not, follow them on the draw game. But I'm happy we came out with a win.
Your lead, Vågberg, said, quote, playing his worst game today, like ever. How do you deal with that on the ice?
He had 2 tricky rocks, and that's the job of the lead. He gets the shitty rocks, so I think he managed fine, that considered.
We've seen 2 teams represent Norway at the Curling World Cup.
Yeah.
Which one will represent Norway at the grand final if you make it there?
I hope it's us, because we've harvested the most points, but you never know. Like, we will have to wait for the Federation's decision.
All right, thank you so much and congrats.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for curling this morning, but there's so much more to come today and the days following here from Jonkoping, Sweden. We beg you to stay tuned for more action.